Hi everybody out there in YouTube world. It's Junior Tarot Queen, your mouth of the South. I was going to do a reading on manipulation, and I don't know, in gaslighting and such of that nature, especially by children and some young adults that want to do that. However, I think I'm just going to do it on total manipulation, like cult leaders and what's going on in the White House and, just total manipulation. Now, I do have to give out a couple of quick thank yous. One is to Susan Campbell. I got your package today. Thank you so much for the wonderful contribution that you have given me to my channel and our community. It helps me and it goes a long way. Thank you very much. I did receive it. I'll send you an email and let you know that in case you missed this video. And another special thank you goes to Eleanor, who not only made the beautiful quilt that I'm going to give away when I reach 2,500 subscribers. Still not getting much closer, but anyway. And then all the mats that she has made and the wonderful friendship that she brings to the table. And to Gina T, and Eleanor also told me that a reading I did a few months ago for her about her children actually came to pass, and it was about 3 months ago. I'll try to put the link on if I can, so you can read it. It's pretty far in there, so I don't know if you want to go back all that far. It was alive. It was about 3 months ago. Anyway, it came to pass, and so I'm happy that things are there waking up from the occult that they were trapped in. So I may even do some follow-up on that. And then Gina T, you're just one special woman. I just love you to death. And I haven't heard from Jackie T, so if anybody is ever talking to Jackie, please let her know I'm thinking about her. Or Terry 2.0. I haven't heard from her in a while either. I hope they're still around and everything is going well. I do want to get to shuffle. I'm going to use the mermaid deck. I'm going to put on some glasses here so I can see what I'm doing or reading anyway. So anyway, let's see what universe has to say about all the manipulative gaslighting that's going on in this world today. I think that the felon in the White House has given people permission to do whatever they want to do. If they want to be mean and manipulative, then they do it. And they don't have any consequences. And we're showing people all around the world that you can do what you want. There's no consequences that are going to be paid. Especially if you're rich, there's not going to be any consequences. So why not do what you want to do, right? I mean, I think it's terrible that is what's coming down to this right now, is we have a felon in the White House. And if the felon can be in the White House, then, anything goes, right? I don't understand. So this reading today is going to be on kind of how to deal with all the manipulation and gaslighting. Now, June says, look, this is what I said. You might have heard something different, but this is what I said. So let me say it again to where you can understand it. Let me try to say it a different way so you can understand it. This is what I said. I know what I said. I know what I do. So therefore, you can't fool me. You can't fool me into believing I did or didn't do something you're saying I did or didn't do. And I am one of those Sagittariuses that are brutally honest, and it's can be blunt. I've been told I've been blunt before, so won't be the first time. Anyway, so let's get to shuffling and see what universe has to say. And at this time, I'm going to take a drink of my Sunkist. So let's see what universe has to say about manipulation and how we can manipulate the manipulators. No, how we can combat that, how we can make them see that we're not falling for it. We're not falling for the lies. We're not falling for the gaslighting. We're not falling for that. Your issues are not my fault. You know, I can't help it, you're a pedophile. That's your sick, twisted mind, and you need to be held responsible for it, period. So let's see what universe has to say about how we combat manipulative, gaslighting, cult individuals. See how we combat them. But thank you, Eleanor, for bringing that reading back to my attention. I appreciate that. And I appreciate it when people let me know that I've helped them in some way or some fashion, because that's my passion. So thank you. And thank you all for being a part of my community as well, my subscribers. And I know that, you know, money is tight for all of us, and I appreciate all the contributions I get. And thank you again, Susan Campbell, for yours. I appreciate it very much. So, here we go. Universe, how do we combat manipulators, liars, cult members, gaslighters? How do we combat that? What is the attitude we need to have, universe? Whew. First, right off the bat, is decision making. And hopefully this doesn't stop me, as I'm going to try to... I don't think I put my do not disturb sign on. But anyway, right off the bat, it threw out the Two of Swords, which, you know, you got to combat... I don't want to say you have to lie to a liar. You don't. But you have to tell the truth. And you have to say, oh, well, wait. How is that true? What evidence do you have? And ask them, what makes you think I said or did that? Tell me in your words what I said. I will tell you in my words what I said. And we have to keep on it. You can't let it slide. Because when you let it slide, they do it more. They have to be held accountable for things that they do. If they take something or say something to someone or do something that you know is wrong, you've got to catch it right then. And you got to stand up and you got to say something. So that was the first thing that popped out from the universe to all of us, that when something happens to us and we feel like it's not right, we need to say it right then. We need to bring it to their attention. That's like if you squirt a cat for getting on the counter, 2 days later, it's going to just think you're being mean. So you got to do it right when it happens. Right when they're starting to manipulate. Right when they're starting to lie. Show me your facts, I'll show you mine. Right? So, and you got to make the decision to stay on top of it and do it right then. Anything else you want to tell us about that? Universe? First thing right off the bat was staying on top of it and do it right then. So let's see what else we got. That one. Let's see what else we got. Something's telling me to shuffle again. So I'm going to shuffle again. Because people can be very manipulative, especially when they want their way, and they're not going to, they're going to try every way to get you to bend to their will. And you are an individual, and you don't need to bend to their will. You need to bend to your own will. unless you're a manipulator, pedophile, like in the White House. And then there's consequences for your actions. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, what else can we do to combat this occult? Learn to recognize it when we see it. Universe, you got something else for me? Okay, so deck coming out. I think that's it. All right. Let's see what universe has to say about this. Now remember, the first card was that Two of Swords. We have to take action. We have to stand up. We have to combat it right then. Like, I know in politics it's harder because they have to go through this person, that person, and then this person won't let release it, and that person doesn't want to release it because they're probably on it, and blah, 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 blah. You know, so, you know, we have to try to vote them out. We have to vote out the people that are being dishonest. And there are a lot of politicians out there that are dishonest and just in it for the money. If we started paying them minimum wage, I guarantee you they wouldn't be doing it. The majority of them wouldn't be doing it. So I say it's term limits for Congress, term limits for Senate, term limits for the House, term limits for governments, term limits for presidency, which there are. However, I also believe in paying them what they're doing. If they're not doing their job, we, the public, shouldn't have to pay them, right? They're working for us. We don't work for them. They're working for us. This is turning into a political thing. Sorry. But anyway, I'm just really triggered about everything that's going on in the political world today. So anyway, I'm going to get back to manipulation and cult members and how we can recognize it and what universe has to say to us to how we can recognize it and how we can stop it. Again, we have to realize that some people are sick. Their passions aren't aligned with the normal. And one size doesn't fit all. One size doesn't fit all. Everybody doesn't fall into a category. So you have to recognize that what their issues are. Are they just wanting their way? Or have they been brainwashed into believing something is something that it isn't? You know, so you have to be passionate enough to dig a little deeper, go a little further than you would normally. Then you have the King of Swords. This is our Libra card, our Justice card, our Balance card. It is reversed. It is telling me that universe says our world is kind of upside down right now. It is so unbalanced. It's not even funny. Even the right wing and even the cult people are fighting amongst themselves on who's right, who's wrong. Should we molest a child? Should we not? I don't know. You know, I just feel like even within that sick circle, there are some bits of morals in there, and they're trying to come out. And we, the more majority of people, because I believe the majority of people are good, maybe not in politics, but the majority of people on this earth are good. We went on a possum rescue yesterday, me and my neighbor, and then Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. Without Ashley, I don't know if we could have done it or not. She's a brave one, that one. Anyway, there are good people out there. There are good people. Most people think about themselves and themselves only. And we've got to realize that we've got to balance that out. We got to try to be like, okay, enough about you. Let's talk about me for a minute. Or enough about me. Let's talk about you for a minute. And do those things. Let's balance it out. Universe is saying we got to try to balance it because it ain't balanced. It's off kilter. Wow, I can't believe it. It's going to be funny. Then we have the Sun. A lot of times we don't feel like we have the opportunity to get out there in the world and show people or stand up for the underdog or help somebody on the side of the road, or you feel like you're in danger yourself, especially if you're a woman and you're by yourself, but you can lock your door and crack your window and say, hey, do you need some help? Can I call someone for you? And then you could do that. A lot of times we don't feel like we have the opportunity to help the world, but we do. Every day you have an opportunity to be kind to someone. Even if, you don't really feel like they deserve it, you can say something like, I hope you have this wonderful day as you are. Or make them feel like, hey, that was kind of mean. What'd you do that for? Just because you could? Well, aren't you special? So, Saturday Night Live, aren't you special, church lady? You gotta find your opportunities when they present themselves. Like, I don't get to go out of the house that often anymore, but I try to find my opportunities to help people. You gotta realize who you are. And when you recognize that somebody is being manipulated and their life has been destroyed, or they don't even want to talk about it because they feel guilty, and it's not their fault. They could be brainwashed into believing that this is true, that the sky is really green, and it isn't. And we all know it isn't. And how we go about helping them to see the truth of the matter is our opportunity. And you need to take it every chance you can get. Then you have, Harmony's talking. There's a rainbow. Harmony's talking here. And this is a Page of Pentacles, which is a Capricorn type of temperament. Capricorns are normally very, very organized individuals. And they're very, they're smart. And they usually can see through the bull, but they're also very good manipulators and gaslighters. So you've got to watch that. But they can see it through bull because they spin it. So on some Capricorns, we'll say less mature Capricorns, do that. So in order to see it, you have to know it. So you see it because you know what you said wasn't what they're saying you said. I didn't say the sky was green. You said the sky was green. I didn't say that. Did you hear me say the sky was green? No. The sky's blue. It's not green. So you have to use your brain and realize, stop and think before you take something to heart or believe everything you hear. Stop and think a second. Wait a minute. Where's facts to back that up? Is there science behind it? Is it just an opinion? What is it? Stop and think about it before you react to it. That's what Capricorns do. They take their time. They think about things before they say them. They think about them. They organize their thoughts and they say them. And that's what we need to do. We need to organize our thoughts and do just that. Figure out for ourselves what's going on with this person. Something ain't right. And then dig. Dig deep. There's another spam call. I've got about 20 of them so far. And then, ultimately, the choice will be theirs. Whether They want to stay in their cult. Some people really don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to do for themselves. They want somebody else to do it for them. And those are the ones that we can do everything that we can possibly do. But ultimately, the choice is theirs. We can't make anybody do anything. All we can do is tell them that that isn't right. Molesting children is not right. You're messing up that child for the rest of their life. And why? Because you can? You get off on it? I don't understand. You just screwed up another individual for the rest of their life. We need to stop this rhetoric that is being pushed out of the White House. We need to stop it. We need to stand up. We need to say, no, you're going to be held accountable for the things that you've done. You don't get to say it's a witch hunt. Just because you say it's a witch hunt doesn't mean it's a witch hunt. Same with any other cult leader out there. Jim Jones, David, Waco guy, you know, all of them. All of them. Charles Manson. Come on. All master manipulators. Everyone. They make people believe things by saying it over and over and over again. So I'm going to start saying it over and over and over again. If you were hurt, molested, raped as a child, even as an adult, it's not your fault. You didn't ask for it. It happened to you. The person that did it to you needs to be held accountable. You need to stand up to them and say, no, no, you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to do it. And I think it's time we dig our heels in and we dig in deep and we protect the vulnerable. Now, it's ultimately their choice whether they want to continue to live in that kind of environment or not. All we can do is the best we can do. It's their choice ultimately. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune upside down. Right now, it seems like all these cards are upside down. Right now, except for the Two of Swords, which is coming up again because I just looked. I cheated a little. I looked. We can't be everywhere at one time. But if enough of us get together and spin that wheel, we can change this. We can change the way the White House is being run. I mean, he fired the Department of job person recording the job loss because he didn't like the number. It wasn't her fault. It's gaslighting. That's doing something just because you didn't like it. You didn't like the outcome of what the science was saying. Well, the job market is down. People are scared. They're losing jobs right and left. Tariffs are killing us. So, of course, you're not going to like what she's got to say. So you fired her. We have to stand up, guys, in unison. Everybody with a decent moral bone in their body needs to stand up in unison and help one another as much as they will allow us to help them. There are sick people everywhere. Everywhere. In the White House, there's a sick man. He needs help. He needs a psychiatrist that's willing to get out there and help the man. And we need to fight it until they listen. We need to fight it until they understand what we're saying. Like I said, digging deep. We got to stand our ground. I think we are gaining a little bit of momentum here. We're gaining a little bit at a time. The more we talk about it, the better it gets. The more we say, this isn't a witch hunt. I'm not just out to ruin your life. I'm just out to make this person's life a little better without you in it. This isn't a witch hunt. I'm not out to ruin your life. I'm out to make this person's life a little bit better without you in it. That's all we got to say. And continue to say it, and continue to say it, and continue to say it, just like they do. And remember, you can be good or you can be bad. You can have a moral compass and go by a good standard of living and being kind, or you can turn the blind eye, or you can just be mean. Choice is yours. But there are consequences. Karma is a real thing. I'm here to tell you. You're going to pay for it in this lifetime or the next. So, again, beginning and end of this reading, this card. So, let's dig in and help the underdogs, guys. Let's get in and help people heal. All of them, even the sick ones. Let's help them heal. Let's help them figure out what's wrong in their brain, that their elevator isn't going to the top, or they don't have a moral compass in their body. Why? Let's dig in there and find out why. What happened to them? What made them that way? And is there anything we can do about it? And if there is, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's dig in and help if we can. So I say protest. Let's get them out of the White House so we can get them into a psychiatric ward and they can figure out what's wrong with the man. Hopefully before he dies. And then he can apologize to every single American citizen that he's hurt by all of the stuff he's doing, from ICE to blaming other presidents. Hey, take responsibility for your own actions, bud. This ain't a witch hunt. You did it. You know you did. So take accountability. Stand up and be a man. Right? Okay. Enough about that. So, again, thanks everybody for tuning in and listening to my channel. I appreciate it. And being a part of my community, I appreciate that too. And try not to be manipulated or gaslighted. Try to think about it before you react to it, and then react to it in an appropriate way. And with all of that being said, as always, stay mystical.